Hello, my name is Miriam van der Valk and I'm a philosopher from Sweden. And I'm talking to Dyonne, a healer from Holland, and Josef Miriam, who is a healer and psychologist from Sweden. And we're talking about a super interesting theory of positive disintegration devised by Kazimierz Dabrowski. And he also, I should say that as well. So Dabrowski talked about, he tried to decipher what the factors of our developmental potential, DP. So one is nature, one is nurture. We can get that. And the third one is what he calls the third factor. And this third factor, you can Google that, by the way. There are Facebook groups called Third Factor. It's an interesting thing. Yeah. This third factor is your inner drive, and that you can cultivate and you can work with. But it determines how, like your intellectual eudaimonia. Entelechy is this wonderful word. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk so much, but I have to tell you what entelechy means. It's the idea of the oak and the acorn. So entelechy is the journey that the acorn takes to become an oak. So each of us have this, I love this word, it's so beautiful. And eudaimonia is flourishing, of course. So intellectual eudaimonia would be the process of becoming who you're supposed to be, who you were, like intended to be, the idea that is in your acorn. Anyway, we were talking about the level 5, the harmonious level of secondary integration.
Yeah, I would like to go to continue there. You know, talking about the third factor, which meaning the inner drive. You know, like in society today, it's kind of two keywords that I usually don't like so much, and that is to be in balance.
Yeah.
To compromise.
Oh.
So the two things, you know, is kind of I don't like.
Can you elaborate what you mean with that? I know what you mean with it, but for our viewers, can you give an example of what you mean with the misuse or the idea of balance and the concept
it's like, yeah, what I mean, what people say, it's kind of you're not balanced in a way, saying you're not like everybody else. It seems to be, and your ideas are more into to some parts of the general thinking of the people. You're kind of, that means also that you are not balanced, and also this meaning of to compromise, meaning also that you have to dilute yourself in a bit to not be yourself. You should not be yourself. That's what it says, actually. You should be
conform, maybe. You mean you're talking more about conforming.
Conform. And it also goes to some kind of, I don't know, way of understanding that things are according to a system of the science, which is like it's a zero-sum game, meaning there is, if you have 5 parts altogether and you have 4, so there is nothing left to the other things, meaning the world is kind of it has some kind of parts, and we all do that, you know, like you cannot give too much love to somebody because then you have not love enough to anybody else, meaning that it's kind of scarce. And that means also that the world is kind of looking at the the way of compromising, meaning that you should be balanced in all what you have. But it doesn't see that these things are not. It's not like everything has a certain amount of everything, because there is not certain amounts. You have lots of all different things. You have more than you can give love to that, and then have love left to somebody else. It's not like it's kind of resources that are kind of cut, and that means to compromise, meaning that you kind of putting all the things that you have into some kind of balance. It's kind of a thing that you are living to, not to use or to spoil the things that you have and then be left on your own. That means also that you have to compromise in order to not to be lonely.
Yeah.
You have to compromise in order to not stick out of everybody, because that really makes all
That's a societal pressure.
Yes, it's a societal pressure, but you conform into that because you want to be balanced.
But
that's
you
why
need to stop. You need to stop. This is you never compromise.
No.
Never compromise.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
And this with this sort of the what you talked about love, I just found this quote from Khalil Gibran, and it says love gives nothing but itself, and it takes nothing but from itself. Love does not possess, nor would it be possessed. And do not think that you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. And this, there's the idea that you would somehow have to divide your love. It's just preposterous. You have not understood the essence of love.
No, exactly.
The love energy is unconditional.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I'm sorry.
No, say again.
No, it's not an amount.
Yeah.
It's not a certain amount that you have about love, for example.
It's unconditional. It's limitless.
Yes, limitless. Yes.
And it wants nothing but itself. So it's not. It's this ever-growing, or like, yeah. It's you can.
I think Khalil Gibran. We can say Khalil Gibran was fifth level.
That's
within the Dabrowski theory, because if you can come up with these sentiments, and if you know this, then at least you have had a taste of it, and you cannot not feel it and know it. Otherwise, you cannot write it. You cannot put it into words if you have not experienced this.
Yeah.
Because this will fall to deaf ears when you don't understand it. But when you've practiced it or tasted it, then you can feel it and sense it. Otherwise, you cannot.
Yes.
What do the both of you think about that?
I can think that maybe people will agree to what he says, but they haven't even experienced it yet.
You think so? Can you agree to a concept without having experienced it?
Maybe.
You can say that you agree, but it's
you can say that you agree.
But it's not embodied. It's not a real
agreement. Not embodied yet.
No.
It's a cognitive agreement.
Yes.
And this is also goes back to those other levels that we discussed in the previous episode, because there's always the element of pretense. And this is in the higher levels 4 and 5. That's where authenticity comes in, and the so I have a friend who calls authenticity an outward expression, and integrity is the inside experience of the same thing. So this when you're able to be authentic, that already requires a lot of disintegration, a lot of tears that are now nourishing the soil so that the true you can grow.
Yes.
And I even want to throw in there living congruent to your value system, to your Yeah, to your value system. That's integrity for me.
It is.
Yeah.
And I would say, not too many people also have the integrity, real integrity. That's a pity also, because we fall sometimes for the talk of some people, and you can see sometimes it's not congruent with what they really are.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of just empty talk, and well, that is also some kind of I don't know. It's sad also that maybe not a lot of people will go into this fifth stage. That it's too much.
According to
Maybe
Dabrowski, only 30% walks
Yes.
this
30.
pilgrimage. 30 more or less. He
To
says like
level five.
65. No, he said no. He said differently. Only 35% or 32% of the people is capable of growing out of level 2.
Of level 2, yeah, exactly, and very few to level 5, I would guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Only a couple percent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, but when you talked about integrity, can we talk a little bit more about that? Because I have had for some years the suspicion that I don't have a lot of integrity, because I find it so difficult to understand what it means, what integrity is. Am I wrong or am I right? Like, what does it mean? Why don't I understand integrity?
If you were to give an example of integrity, and if you would measure that with something in your own life, then maybe you don't know the word or the concept as a concept to explain it or to bring it across. But it might be that you still live according to integrity standards or so.
Yeah.
Could you share a bit about that yourself? What is the thing that is
It's like it's
there for you when you think of it?
Yeah, it's very elusive to me, this concept, but I understand, of course, that it doesn't necessarily mean that I lack it, just because, it's easier for me to name the things that I do lack, because it's so obvious, like my faults but there are other concepts that I also don't quite get, like, for example,
I think let's stick with integrity for this moment, for this bit, because I think with integrity, the thing is mostly about, okay, what is there for you? Again, what I say, like your value system, knowing your value system and living according to that. So not, you use the word compromise, when you don't compromise your own value system at the expense to make someone else feel better, for instance.
Oh, right. Okay,
so
bad.
I will give a personal example. Maybe that helps you. I talked before in the previous sessions and with the both of you personally on my codependency issues. I had a long journey of recovering from codependency due to certain trauma. And the more close I came to knowing myself and to understanding myself and living according to my value system that I finally know after a long time, the more congruent of who I think I am or believe that I am, I can show up in life. And that shows off integrity. Whereas, let's give an example. So the times that I was a very, very acting out helpaholic, I was showing up in life real. I was real, I was authentic in a way because I didn't know any better, but I was not living according to my value system. So you could say that is not living according to a sense of integrity, but I was real and I was authentic. I didn't know any better, but I was just being a helpaholic. I was trying to fix people and in a way that's manipulating, sort of say. Understand what I'm trying to say? So
yes, I do real, very much so.
I didn't do it to hurt anyone, to be a helpaholic, and to intervene in the process, but I did it, and it was not. Yeah, you could say that's lacking integrity.
No, I can. No, it's not. It's. I mean, like what you're talking about. That's really integrity, in a way. Also, I have a kind of also some kind of experience. I don't know how much I can talk about it, but still it's kind of my writing or my book. It's kind of made it clear that I had to do it maybe more on my own, and
To not compromise yourself.
I don't compromise myself.
Yeah.
And that is a very hurting thing also to do, because you're kind of hurting. You're hurting, and it's
Yes.
and it's but still, but I didn't see it before. It kind of grew into me as kind of part of the process of disintegration, if that's the part, which I'm also going through. So there is a part of it. I don't know if it's part of disintegration, but there is something going on, and you have to go according to that, because that's you and that's your values. I didn't see them before so clearly.
Yeah, because when you not do that, Joseph, that would mean you would lose integrity.
Exactly.
They say if you do not live according to your own soul sense, internal system, whatever, your internal family, whatever you want to call it, the less you live according to your inner system, the more you lose integrity. That's in a way what it is. That's
Yes.
the closest I can get to meaning for this. I hope
Yes.
this helps Miriam as well.
It does. Yeah, I think I've been slightly wrong in this respect. I'm glad I brought this up.
I don't see you lacking any integrity.
No.
You're not.
Yeah. I understand. I understand that. Maybe I don't.
When you keep showing up for the truth,
Yes.
whereas, I mean, people may not like it or conflict with you or whatever, but when you keep up showing for your truth, then you're showing up with integrity. And when you don't, and when you do like, something, you create a distortion, you're losing your integrity.
Or when you change your mind all the time and you're like, okay, so now I like this kind of music because, that's also sort of not.
Yeah, but that can, I don't know. That's a more trivial thing, maybe. I mean, and it also, I don't know. That's not that's
everything I say is a metaphor.
Yeah. But this is deeper. This is according to values and behavior and acting accordingly.
Yeah, but to compromise, is kind of.
Yeah, to compromise yourself in order to
compromise yourself.
Please something out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like kind of you're losing your integrity a bit.
Yeah.
Compromising.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the cue then for me, that because I felt
losing my religion and the integrity. Yeah. We're gonna leave it at this for today.
Yes, I think so too.
Yes.
Very good.
And ponder this and see what we come up with next week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. This is
you.
Great. It's just getting nicer and nicer, these conversations. I love these conversations with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up here again today.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Thank you. Bye.